So you have plans to take the CELPIP exam this year, and you need to get ready. The listening section can be one of the most difficult for many people because we have to listen for 2 to 3 minutes to a passage and then answer questions without any preparation. Stay throughout the entire video. Follow along with me, a native speaker, as I take a real mock test. I'll be on the HZad platform, so you get to see the questions in real time and follow along as I answer them. I'm Scott from HZad Education. If you like this type of video, please remember to like and subscribe. We publish videos every week. Shall we get started? Let's go. So today I'll be using the HZad AI platform. Here you have access to over 10 different mock tests. Once you get logged in, you can choose from any of the tests. We'll be doing the listening test number 5, so you can follow along at home. Let's get started.
Listening to problem solving. In this section, you will hear a conversation broken into 3 sections. After every section, you will get 2 to 3 questions. Please listen carefully and answer the given questions.
Isaac, what did you do today?
I worked really hard at work and then workout. I was a machine today.
You know I'm not talking about that.
Okay, first off, how did you...
I got text alerts on my phone, okay? God, please tell me you didn't spend all that money.
Actually, honey, I was gonna surprise you for our anniversary.
With a 75 grand gift? Better be a safe investment that can be liquidated. Can you just tell me? You're stressing me out.
Oh, it's safe. It is a second-hand Audi A8. Sorry, I just didn't want to wait until our anniversary to see your happy face, though I'm not sure if your happy face looks a little unusual right now.
Isaac,
What?
I really hope you're messing with me.
Why would I? You're worth more than 75K, you know? I was planning to withdraw more money to...
No, you dummy. I'm not happy with this. I'm so annoyed. I mean, I'm still processing it. Isaac, how could you be so irresponsible with our money? You know cars are a depreciating asset, don't you? Besides, it is a coupe, and we are a family of 4. And don't even get me started on that collar.
All right. Listen, gosh, I wasn't expecting this reaction. Are you sure you don't at least want to try it? Let's go on a ride. Look at the Pauls. They have one. Why can't we?
Because we are not the Pauls, and we have 3 additional mouths to feed. Not to mention, we are broke. Isaac, you really... I need a painkiller. I'm getting a headache.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Please don't panic, hun. I have a 1-week return policy on this car. I'll just go back and return this, okay? Just relax. The last thing I would want is to trigger your migraine again.
Ooh, okay, Isaac messed up. He bought an expensive car. They said it was an Audi.
What was Isaac doing that made his wife mad?
What was Isaac doing? Wife mad. He spent too much money. He spent 75 grand. Next.
Question 2. Which of the following is not one of the reasons that she doesn't want the gift Isaac bought?
Not one of the reasons. Well, it won't be this. It won't fit their family. They can't afford it. No, that is a reason. She didn't like the color. So I think it's because the Pauls had one. And he did mention the Pauls, which was another family, but that was not a reason why she shouldn't. Why it was not a reason they shouldn't get it.
Question 3. What happens when Isaac tries to convince her it was a good purchase?
Ooh. She doesn't agree. She doesn't relax. She did say, I need a painkiller. I have a headache. So let's go with she has a headache.
Isaac, why are you back with that ugly car again?
That's a little harsh, don't you think?
Please don't tell me the salesperson got in your head and convinced you to keep this piece of junk. Did he tell you it will make you look cooler? Make you a womanizer? Make you feel younger? Gosh, I hope you didn't fall into one of those cliches. Were you gullible again this time?
Wow, so much judgment, don't you think? Let the man breathe a bit. I just arrived here, for God's sake. They will take the car back. It's after a $5,000 penalty.
You're kidding me, right?
It is on me, though.
There you go again, by being the humble snowflake you are and taking blame for everyone else. These people at dealerships know how to guilt trip you into buying, but it is, by law, a requirement to refund cars if returned within 3 to 10 days after purchase.
Yes, but the caveat is the optional amendments allowed as per the company requirements.
Huh?
I didn't go through the purchase agreement correctly. It actually states this policy in such simple, clear-as-day words that only an insane person would miss it. I'm so sorry to disappoint you again, my dear.
Aw, you haven't disappointed me, hun. Look, I have been very harsh to you today, and I can see you are so upset about this whole mess, but we will fix it together. Those are our vows, right? Your mess is my mess.
Yeah, along those lines.
Okay, so this car still is as good as new. I checked the online prices, and if we can't sell it at a profit, we can surely sell it at around the purchase price. Why not do that instead of losing $5,000 for no reason?
How does his wife feel?
How does she feel about the situation? She was angry, but in this part of the audio, she's getting less angry. Understanding, surprised, disappointed. Well, because of the tone of her voice and the way that she said, we can fix this together, and she said, sorry, I have been very harsh on you, I'm leaning towards understanding because she's getting more accepting of the situation.
Question 6. What does his wife suggest that they do to fix the problem?
Talk to the dealer, keep the car, sell it themselves, pay $5,000 and be done with it. There was a lot of talk about $5,000 because that was the money they had to give up if they sold the car or if they got rid of the car. But at the end of the audio, she does say, we can sell it for the same value. So she can sell it, or they can sell it themselves.
But to be honest with this car stuff, I don't see any hope.
Isn't it weird that all buyers seem to show us this untrusting look? I mean, what other cars can you get at such a discounted price that offer comfort, luxury, speed, performance, features, and this sick design? Or maybe buyers nowadays want stuff that underdelivers and overcharges. What a headache.
Then they have also the audacity to waste our precious time with all their questions,
Waste our gas with all their unneeded test drives?
waste all our necessary cell phone minutes without closing.
Can you imagine what it would be like to be a car salesperson? At least we're just trying to sell one.
Wow.
Well, what?
Well, you're a genius. You have been chasing the wrong crowd. You know one place where cars are always accepted for purchase no matter what?
Well, I don't think it's always no matter what, but I know what you're talking about. Car dealerships, correct?
Yes.
Huh. Guess I'm pretty smart. Yeah, they're not snobby, don't have money problems, and are able to get to that point. They will press us for a better deal, though.
Look, if I get a refund on this car, it's still selling at a $5,000 loss at $70,000. If we can get anything above that, we're still above water.
Agreed. But let's start the price at $80,000, so post negotiations, we still arrive at a healthy number.
Or the reverse, lowball them and start a bidding war.
You know, you might have given me an unexpected anniversary gift already.
Really? What?
A chance to show off my sales skills.
Question 7. Which of the following is not an issue the couple is facing while trying to sell their car?
Okay, they did talk about a lot of issues, and I remember them saying it will create wasted time going to different places, wasted gas traveling, wasted cell phone minutes. Wasted money was not really the problem because after the solution, they started talking about how they can raise the price to 80K and try to make some money. So, wasted money.
Question 8. What did they decide to do?
They decided to go to a dealership. This was spoken about for about a minute. So they would go to a dealership, sell the car back to these people, and try to increase the price. Because dealerships are the most likely to buy. Okay, moving on to part 2. It's getting a little bit more difficult because we're listening to a daily life conversation. Let's begin.
You will hear 5 questions regarding a daily life conversation. Listen to each question carefully as it will not be repeated more than once.
Hey, Dad,
Yes, Lisa.
why do people smoke?
Well, it's a little complicated. You see, people smoke because their parents didn't tell them that it's a bad habit. They just don't know it should not be done. Nobody told them.
Okay, but you never told me that either.
To be honest, Lisa, I didn't even know you knew what smoking was until 2 minutes ago. Why did you even think of something like this? Did someone tell you about it? I know Uncle Mark does it a lot. Have you been idolizing him?
Dad, I'm not that young. My friends have already started smoking, and I was asking them when it will be my turn.
Oh my god, who are these friends?
Adam and Zion?
Okay, Lisa, what I want you to do is to stay away from both Adam and Zion, okay? They are not a good influence on you.
But they said it tastes good.
No, it absolutely does not. Lisa, there is no taste when you smoke. People just do that to show how cool they are. They don't taste anything out of this world when they smoke. It's nothing like candy, and I would much rather have you stick to candy for now and not even think about smoking. My dear, it can damage your lungs, destroy your liver, and wreak havoc on your body. It might even turn your lips black, and you will not want to look at yourself in the mirror if that happens. Do you want that?
No, but I also want to be cool.
Listen, honey, you can be cool by studying hard and getting good grades. One day, you will become a successful doctor with all your effort in school, as long as you stick with the right people. Listen to your parents and teachers. That's the coolest thing you can do.
Okay, Dad. I don't think you understand what cool
So this is
means,
a
but
parent-daughter
okay.
relationship. Let's see the conversation and the questions.
Question 1. What is Lisa asking her dad about?
Lisa is the daughter, and she's asking her dad about smoking. What smoking does to the body. No, she specifically asked, why do people smoke? That was at the beginning.
Question 2. How does Lisa's dad feel about Adam and Zion?
Definitely not first one, no. Should avoid them, yes. Okay, they should avoid Adam and Zion because they're bad influence.
Question 3. What does Lisa's dad want her to become?
It wasn't teacher, it wasn't someone cool, physician, influencer. Yeah, he said one day you'll be a very successful doctor or a physician. And that's similar, doctor, physician. That is the closest answer we have.
Question 4. What is Lisa's response to her dad's definition of cool?
Well, she does want to be cool. She suggests a different word. No. She tells him he is mistaken. She ignores him. She argues. 1, 3, and 4 are not correct. So I would think that it has to be 2. 2, she tells him that he is mistaken because she wants to be cool.
Question 5. Which of the following is not a side effect of smoking?
Damaged lungs, yes. Destroyed liver, yes. Black lips, yes. Poor taste, well, these are all have been talked about. Poor taste would be our best answer because the father said that you don't taste anything. So it's not poor taste, it's that you don't taste. Okay, let's continue. We're going on to the next section. You will hear an interview with Pastor Clark discussing his life and ministry. A pastor is like a priest, so they work in the church, and a ministry is like the church and the people there. Let's listen.
You will now hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. The questions will only appear once. Listen carefully and answer all questions.
Pastor Clark, thank you so much for coming to our platform and being brave enough to enter this debate. I'm sure you didn't have to do it. You're not being paid to do it, but you mentioned that you wanted to be here to give your side of the story.
Thank you, Miss Jen. It is a pleasure to be here with you and your audience today. Yes, the media has been writing the narrative for me for many years, and I've been quiet because the Lord knows where I stand and where my heart is. Nevertheless, it does affect the ministry, and people are easily influenced by what they hear online. I'm here to clear the air and to educate people that it is not as gloomy as they are forced into thinking.
The biggest problem people have is the amount of wealth you have piled up while preaching the message of being charitable. What would you say about that?
Excellent question. Let's start right there. The amount of wealth I've piled up, as you put it, is something that I have accomplished after a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and hours of daily work, followed by hours of sleepless nights. I have done everything that any other person on this planet would do and would expect a significant return. Efforts equal results. There's nothing evil about it. There's nothing illegal about it. In fact, all religions in the world tell us to put in our best efforts in order to get the best results. Now, I don't like to criticize my detractors. However, it's simply a case of having envy if someone is seen doing better.
But the question is, why are you not following the advice you give? Basically, you tell people to be charitable. If you're charitable with your millions of dollars, you can help a lot of people.
Once again, Jen, that's the issue. I can spare a percentage of my wealth, but so can you. And so can a lot of people. Most of us can go on vacations yearly and can buy luxury cars. So why don't we sacrifice that and give everything to the poor while leaving our families with just food and shelter? It is hard when the situation is reversed and you are told to do the same thing, correct? The sacrifices I'm being asked to make are the ones that people themselves are unwilling to consider. It is also a sort of bullying. Just because one person is more successful financially should not imply that everyone should be targeting him or her while not reflecting on their own actions and belief systems.
Okay, so Pastor is defending himself and he's providing some understanding about why pastors or priests have money, especially himself. Let's hear the question.
Question 1. What is the pastor doing at the end?
What is he doing at the end? At the end, he was not arguing, he was calm. I don't think he was making the interview guilty, targeting people. No. So 2 and 4 are a no. I think he was providing some insight because he was explaining more about why people have wealth and that people shouldn't give all of their money, but they should give some of their money to people in need. So he was,
Question 2.
I didn't-
What can we say of the interviewer?
okay, providing insight. What can we say about the interviewer? Passionate, on the spot, hostile. Let's go with putting the pastor on the spot because she was being confrontational and she was trying to ask a lot of serious questions without preparation.
Question 3. Pastor Clark.
Pastor Clark, tough life, easy life, claims not to be evil, preaches against envy. This is a hard one. He didn't talk too much about his life, but he did say that he had a lot of sleepless nights, that he worked very hard, so maybe not 2, not 3. I'm going to go with the tough life because I have 3 seconds.
Question 4. What's the motivation for the pastor to do this interview?
What's the motivation? He doesn't get paid. He's trying to be brave. I don't know. He needs people to understand his side. Maybe. The ministry asked him. No. I think he needs people to understand his side because he said, thanks for allowing me to shed light on this situation.
Question 5. Does the pastor play victim in this situation?
No, not clear. On the contrary, yes. Does he play victim in this situation? He kind of does. Because he said that I worked a hard life and so I built all this money, but a lot of people think against him or they have negative views of him. So I think, yes, he claimed that the interview was bullying.
Question 6. What's a key message the pastor delivers?
A key message. Work hard, play hard, sacrifice, don't listen, reflect on yourself. I didn't hear anything about work hard, play hard. That's kind of a gangster's terminology. Sacrifice more, maybe, but I'm leaning on reflect on yourself because he told people just because one person is successful doesn't mean they should give all of their money to the church. We still have to take care of our family. Once again. Okay, good. We're on to section number 4. Let's get started. It is becoming increasingly more difficult because news items deal with higher vocabulary. So we are going to hear a news item about a unique financial issue. A lot of big vocabulary in financial topics. Let's start.
You will now hear a news item. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best option for each question.
Robert Caraway is a high net worth individual residing in the United States. How rich is he exactly? The Daily Word ranks him as the 34th richest man in the world with a net worth, investments, and business valuation combined of $9.4 billion US. Robert comes from humble beginnings, which is why he has also amassed a significant following, especially from the youth who are inspired with his story of being a completely self-made person. However, recently, Robert has taken up an issue with the IRS, being adamant on his position to reduce taxes for the wealthy. Robert explains again how he has had to climb through the ranks all throughout his life. And now that he has created over 100,000 jobs and brought in billions of dollars worth of capital and tax dollars, he should be rewarded instead of being chastised by the government. It sends the wrong message, he says, to the youth who looks up to him. Work hard, create value, feed thousands of families, only to have half of your wealth taken by the government. He further adds, yes, we live in a progressive tax system, but that doesn't give the government the right to exploit the rich up to their last penny. He further states that it's not just the brutal cuts the government gets which is the problem, it is also their unacceptable use of the funds that further flare his temper, as the tax dollars do not go towards our most important social systems such as childcare, health, and education. Finally, Robert is asking for support from the entire community, letting them know very clearly they will come for you next. Robert does have a point. Since taxes were created, they have only gone in one direction in this country: up. If the rich are continued to be exploited easily, soon this will trickle down on the remaining income brackets. Should we join Robert in the fight Or are his claims unreasonable given the already privileged position he enjoys?
Okay, so Robert, an ultra rich man, is taking a stance against the government and the taxation of the government, and he is a self made man. Let's see the questions now. The issue Robert hopes to fix is not childcare, healthcare, education, government tax. Definitely government tax. Robert believes the rich should not be punished for working hard. Taxes are pointless. The youth should be taught. No, we didn't hear anything about taught. Success comes from starting with nothing. That was a side point. That's not what he believes, but he believes the rich should not be punished. He brings in a lot of money for the government. The youth are inspired by Robert because he makes a lot of money. His success is his own doings. Maybe that was a self-made man. He has created a large number of jobs, and his name is well known. Ooh, all of these are very close. But they did talk about his humble beginnings. And so this was close to where they talked about the youth. If the government exploits the rich, it will send the wrong message. The middle class will be next. They will eventually lose all. No. The economy will be ruined. No. 3 and 4 are wrong. I think he did say this will trickle down to the next generation, or this will trickle down to middle income brackets. So I'm going to go with number 2. Middle class is next. Robert makes an exaggeration about. An exaggeration is when they claim too much. So how much money he makes? No, that seems like an accurate statement. The government having all of his money? I don't remember that. The amount of support he can offer, or how easily he became successful. So it's not 1, maybe number 2, not number 3. The government having all of his money. This would be an exaggeration because he did state that the government took up everything but his last penny. And we know that's not true. That's an exaggeration. So we're going with number 2. Let's see the next part. So in part number 5, we're going to listen again to a discussion, but it's a video. So in the video, take note about the characters and their voice, so their names, their body language. Also look for their facial expressions. This will show you if they are satisfied or dissatisfied with the conversation. Let's take a look. Okay, let's play the video.
You'll be hearing and watching a short video, followed by some questions. Choose the answers to those questions very carefully.
Hey, can I tell you both a secret? It's a little embarrassing.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, it could be embarrassing or might sound ambitious, but since I have always been a glass half full kind of guy, I decided to push through with this idea.
God, Jonathan, just spare us the suspense, okay?
Okay. So, did you see Brian James's victory yesterday at the Olympics? The dude was running faster than a sports car. I mean, not literally, but man, I just couldn't stop myself from replaying his greatness. I mean, I run while doing HIIT and always end up puking if I go over an hour. This guy ran a marathon and still looked like $1 million while ending up on top.
Okay. Where are you getting at with this?
What I'm telling you guys is that you might just maybe see Jonathan Williams on your TV sets in the next Olympics.
Wow. No way. This is great news, Jonathan. I'm so with you on this. You are fit and athletic, and you are crazy passionate in every project you choose. If anyone can do it, it's you.
Oh, thanks. Means a lot coming from you, Ella. Okay, what does that mean?
Well, I don't mean to be a downer, but Jonathan, You just said you puke after cardio. Even I don't do that, and I don't consider myself athletic. Sorry, that didn't come out right. Look, I mean, you are my friend, and the last thing I would want from you is to chase a virtually unattainable dream. I have to remind you again, you are a father of 2 and pushing 40. This is not the age when athletes start their careers.
Oh, come on, Clara. Who are we to say anything? When was the last time Jonathan did something interesting? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that either. Jonathan, what I'm trying to say is, this is good. Yeah, this is good for you. It will be a new adventure and it will take you places.
Don't worry. I'm not easily offended, and while you guys are best friends and I care about what you say, I didn't need any approval here. I'm already good to go. Training starts tomorrow.
Right, that conversation was really good. So Jonathan, the main speaker, he wants to be an athlete. Kara didn't seem very interested or supportive. I think her name was Elle or Ella or something. She was more supportive. Let's see the questions. Initially, how did Jonathan feel about bringing up this story? Positive, negative, shy, indifferent? Shy. Because he said, this is a little embarrassing. Who was more eager to listen to Jonathan, what Jonathan had to say? Cara, Ella, both, none? Ooh, good question. Well, okay, Cara was not supportive, but at the very beginning, she did say, come on, like, spare us the suspense. Tell me more. That was the girl on the left. Which athlete was Jonathan referring to from the Olympics? Oh, no, I didn't hear Usain Bolt, Michael Williams, no, Jonathan Williams, no, Brian James. Okay, I did hear Brian James. How often did Jonathan throw up after exercising? After his HIT, like high intensity workout? All the time, in some cases, 2 to 3 times when he does HIT. When he does HIT. What does Ella like about Jonathan? Ella was the girl on the right. He is passionate, yes. If anyone can do it, it's him. Maybe he gives great news. He's a glass half full kind of guy, but I don't think that's what she liked. He said that. He's passionate. I think it's because he's passionate. Why did Jonathan mention TV? To tell Ella and Cara that he watched the Olympics, to signify that he'll be the next star, because that's where he heard the news, to mention how the athlete was running faster than a car. Ooh, all of these seem okay. Because he did watch the Olympics. He did signify that he wanted to be the next star. He did mention that he was an athlete. So either 1 or 2 would be the best. He did say something like, you will see me next. I will be the next person on TV. Okay, we're going with that to signify he will be the next star. How is Kara treating Jonathan? Kara was the girl on the left, the blonde. Insulting? Kind of. And encouraging? Kind of. In a manner that gives him a reality check? Or in a sarcastic manner? Ooh, this is hard. She was like supportive and not supportive at the same time. I'm going to say in a sarcastic manner. Jonathan didn't care about his friends, no. He's looking for approval, can easily be offended, cares about what his friends have to say. Yeah, he cares about what his friends have to say. He really did care. Wow. Okay, just 15 seconds to go. All right, we are getting very close to the end. Now we're at part 6. Part 6 is a viewpoint. So we're listening for opinions of the speaker. It's longer, so you have to catch all the information, take notes if necessary. You will hear a report about a business issue in Vancouver. Okay, Vancouver, Canada. And it's a business issue.
You will now hear a report, and after that, 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question. This recording will be played only once.
Manpreet Kaur, a local resident in Vancouver, has been voicing her concerns about how the real estate market has simply priced out young individuals off the market, and how the local government is doing nothing to put an end to inflation on virtually any product or service you ask for. Her concerns have also centered around the flow of immigrants and even locals from neighboring towns and cities who have become a burden on the once thriving economic hub of Canada. There are more job seekers rather than vacancies. This has also led to exploitation from employers who have 100+ resumes per job post at their disposal, and they can pick and choose who to hire, who to fire. If you're not good enough, you're simply disposable. She states that more people doesn't necessarily mean more jobs. Most people who are migrating to Vancouver are people looking for jobs and not necessarily entrepreneurs. The latter seems to be the problem due to the province's tax structure, which is another complaint voiced by her as well as many locals. The city has one of the most unfriendly tax systems for businesses, which means several corporate and payroll taxes for any corporation, as well as the risk of possibly an increase in these rates in the coming months, thanks to the incapable local government, she says. This, she expands, is on top of all the red tape such organizations have to deal with just to get their business up and running. Rob Wilson, a local bar owner, actually agrees with Manpreet, stating that everything she said is true. However, he still is a huge supporter of the city and the government. He explains why Vancouver has the rates it has. For businesses, it provides a huge pool of applicants that no other city can provide in Canada, which means businesses need to pay up with something in return. Moreover, the beautiful beaches, the clean and well-maintained roads, as well as the year-round pleasant weather is something that most of Canada cannot claim to have. This simply means that you're living in a luxury city and you need to pay a premium rate in terms of your taxes or higher-priced goods or services. He claims that most people have just been complaining about the expenses, but rather than focusing on trying to save every penny, most people should be like him and try to opt for a business or something that could lead to more income generation. He explains how making more money is a more positive and forward-looking approach, which is also sustainable compared to the idea of saving. Inflation is not going away, he says. The only way to fight it is to advance your career and pay.
Ooh, okay, we have Manpreet. She was against the increased cost of living, the taxations, the amount of applicants for jobs. And then there was the other guy, on the contrary, Robert. He was promoting entrepreneurial access. He was promoting more people moving to Vancouver because it's a beautiful luxury city. Let's take a look at the questions. Manpreet Kaur is mainly concerned about the people of Vancouver, Canada, Vancouver and neighboring areas who are immigrating. We didn't hear neighboring areas. We heard about Vancouver and immigration, but she did talk about Vancouver and the locals. The main issue being faced by businesses in Vancouver: taxes, increased taxes, administrative logistical problems. All of the above. Yeah, because it was taxes, but it was the increase. There was problems with the government's logistical problems. Rob prefers businesses to pay more since they get the facility of better hiring, luxury city, beaches, pleasant weather. Now, because this question is asking about the businesses, I don't reckon that the businesses care about beaches or pleasant weather. The only thing that refers to a business here is better hiring choices, more applications. Rob's personality can be best described as ruthless. Oh, I didn't hear that. Money hungry. No, he was quite reasonable. Innovative or none of the above. Innovative or none of the above. He was an entrepreneur, but he didn't invent anything. And I don't think his ideas were very innovative. Let's try none of the above. Mr. Wilson, that's Rob. Rob Wilson. Wilson is in Vancouver, owns a restaurant. No, he owned a bar. Is a business analyst, makes lots of money. We didn't hear about how much money he made. He's not an analyst. He doesn't have a restaurant, so he's in Vancouver. Mr. Carr, Miss Carr, feels that Vancouver is the greatest city that deserves best. It's no longer what it used to be. Is dominated by immigrants. Is economic hub of Canada. No. No longer what it used to be. They talked a lot about the inflation, the cost of living. Yeah, it's no longer what it used to be. All right, so now we're going to submit the test. And the best part about using the HZad AI software is that it gives you your direct feedback right after you take the test. I did incredibly well here. Good on most answers. It wasn't when he did HIT. It was in some cases. Oh, that was the video. The girl wasn't being sarcastic. She gave him a reality check. Interesting. Okay, so I only got 2 questions wrong, which I'm incredibly satisfied by. On the next page, it also gives you a lot of direct feedback. So I can see my approximate CELPIP score, and I can see some actionable feedback that will help me to progress more. It'll give me a lot of guidelines here about questions like inference questions to work on, practice active listening, speed and accuracy, because I did almost miss a few questions there. So speed is a big one. So when you take the test on the HZad educational platform, you're able to do a real mock test, then get real feedback and know your CELPIP score, which is incredibly helpful before you go to the real test. Thanks for following along and taking the listening practice test with me. If you found this video helpful, if you gained some feedback, please do subscribe, like the video, and in the comments below, you can share your experience with taking the mock test. It really helps us and we appreciate it. It's a pleasure working with you. I'm Scott from HZad Education. I'll see you next time.